Right, I think it's time for some questions. Welcome back to the weekly mailbox, everybody. Your weekly chance to ask me questions about absolutely anything. Obviously, the main focus is generally motorsports, but we've had some bizarre ones in the past. But today, there's a real focus on the future, a real focus on driver transfers, calendar changes. Had some awesome ones this week, so thank you very much. If you want to ask me a question, chuck it in the comments below, send me a message over on Instagram, but let's stop messing around and jump into question 1 from IR88IFC, and he or she asks, who do you think will partner Charles Leclerc at Ferrari in 2024? Jesus Christ, I can't even think what I'm having for dinner tomorrow, yet alone 2024. But then he gives us some examples: Mick Schumacher, Robert Schwartzman, or Marcus Armstrong. Thank you very much for the question, mate. He sent this one over on Instagram, and of course, links to all social media are in the description. And as well, I'll say this now, I'll get it out of the way. We're on the road to 20k. I'm trying a big final push for the end of the season, trying to do it before the end of the year. So that's the target. If we don't make it, no worries, but that's the aim. So if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. Let's stop messing. Let's talk about the question. So in this question, we're assuming that Sebastian Vettel has either retired or moved on. We're also assuming that Charles Leclerc will stay at the team. I don't think that's too far-fetched, so we're on good starting terms there. But who will be alongside him? Well, if you judge Ferrari from the last few years, they will probably re-sign Kimi Räikkönen and bring him back to the team for a third time. No, on a serious note, I think Schwartzman is the best of the three you listed there, out of Schwartzman, Armstrong and Schumacher. Of course, there's many drivers that make the step up to Formula 2, don't get the grips with the car and move on to a different series and never get a chance in Formula 1. Yeah, that's an option. And many drivers before have said that they didn't like the Formula 2 car. Alex Albon was a prime example of doing really well in GP3, I think it was, back in the day. Struggled a little bit more with the F2 car, so I'm not too sure how Schwartzman's going to adapt, but I think he's going to be the real deal, and I think he's going to be one of those drivers that will jump into it, instantly win the championship or be in the fight. I expect to see him in Alpha in 2021, and he would be my pick to partner Leclerc at Ferrari. I don't see Verstappen going there, and I don't see Hamilton being in F1 in 2024. Moving on to question 2, Dave Perini. Apologies if I've pronounced that a little bit wrong, mate, but thank you for your question once again this week. How much of an impact can big dollars, yes, my man, how much of an impact can big dollars manufacturers like Mercedes have on Formula E? Could it end up like Formula 1 with 3 teams dominating? Thank you very much for your question. It's an interesting one. Formula E going into Season 6 in the next few months, and of course you can keep up to date with all of that on the channel. I'm sure some of you are not interested in the slightest, but it's an interesting one because in Formula 1 we really have almost a power funnel, if you want to call it that, where the big teams are stuck at the top. The little teams, because they're not manufacturers, they are customer teams, that's the word I'm looking for, they can't necessarily gain a massive advantage over teams like Mercedes if you're a team like Williams, likewise with teams like Haas and Ferrari. So there's a bit of a power struggle in Formula 1, and it's going to take something really big from the likes of Renault and McLaren to try and overhaul some of the big teams. In Formula E, it works a little bit different. Primarily, the cars are virtually identical. The main changes or differences is the powertrain. So Formula 1, we've got the power unit. Formula E, it's the powertrain and how the car harnesses energy, recharges energy. That's as technical as I'm getting this week. So it's a lot harder in Formula E to just pump in lots and lots and lots of money and gain a big advantage. That's not saying it's impossible to do that, because we've definitely seen it in the past where teams have been, especially Renault Edams back in the day, they were able to really get a step up, an advantage over other teams, won the teams championship for 3 years in a row. So it's definitely doable. But I think what's different about Formula E compared to Formula 1 is the amount of manufacturers in Formula E. If I forget any now off the top of my head, apologies. But this year we've got Mercedes and Porsche joining the lineup. However, we've already got Audi, we've already got Citroën, we've already got Jaguar, we've already got Mahindra, a big technical company in India. We've got NIO, a big technical company over in China. The Chinese version of Tesla, pretty much. I'm sure I'm missing an absolutely glaringly obvious team, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. We've got Nissan as well. BMW, that's who I'm thinking of, BMW. We've got all of these manufacturers. So even if another team, like you said in your question, Mercedes joins and pumps in millions and millions and millions, I think for the first couple of years, I think it would be very difficult for a team to jump into Formula E and go straight to the top. I think Porsche will struggle this year. I think so will Mercedes. And I think Formula E this year will be able to really establish itself as a competitive series and prove that it's not a series you can just jump in, pump a load of money and win it. So to answer your question, I don't see Formula E following a similar kind of route with Formula 1 and having a power struggle at the top. But I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Our next question comes from I'm F1 Simo 73, and I had to include this question because I thought it was downright rude. I thought it was disgusting. Don't send me a question like this again. Very disappointed. When will Haas definitely fire Grosjean? Unbelievable. To put this in my comment section, of all comment sections, you chose this one. I'm very disappointed. And you're not a member of the Grosjean army. No, all banter aside, I quite like this question because he's a lucky boy, Romain Grosjean, to be driving in 2020. I truly believe that. I don't think he's been as bad as people have actually said this season, though I don't think he's been great. I think he's been okay, and that's even at a push. The car's been an absolute dog. I will continue to say that for the rest of the year because, let's be honest, it's alright in qualifying, but in the race, they've messed it up this year, and it would not surprise me if already they've abandoned their plans for this year, moved on to next year, and I think that's probably why they've kept Romain Grosjean, just to try and heal the wounds of this season and help just get them over the line for 2021. But I do think next year will be the end of the line for Romain Grosjean, which is very upsetting. However, potentially if a new team comes in for 2021, a little bit like in 2016, when Haas came into F1, he moved to the team, gave them that experience. Maybe he could do something like that, but apart from that, he's got to have the season of his life to stay in 21. Moving on to another question about 2021. And by the way, yeah, thank you for the question. I wasn't offended, don't worry. This question 4 comes from Will Donaldson, a name I can pronounce. Thank you very much, Will. I will find out in a moment I pronounced that wrong. What do you think will happen with the race lineup in 2021, with Miami being announced, and what would you like to happen? Interesting. So, race lineup, I've taken this as a question about the calendar. I think that's what you mean. So, apologies if I've got the wrong end of the stick there, but I'm 99% sure you're on about the calendar. So, the Miami race, this is going to be a pain, hasn't technically been announced. It's there, it's a plan, and they've approved the circuit layout and the venue and the dates, roughly. But what they haven't approved is it officially being on the calendar, which is the one bit you actually need. So it's not fully out there. Liberty Media, the owners of Formula 1, have made it no secret they would love to have a 25 race calendar. And I am a person that believes, I am a person, but I'm a person that believes that they will eventually do that. As much as the teams will really fight against it, and I think the FIA might even try and fight against it, I think Liberty are pretty much dead certain and stuck in their ways. They want a 25 race calendar. I don't think we'll get that in 2021. I think we will see Spain leave the calendar in 2021, but I can see Miami showing up. I can see a race in Germany coming back. I think that's one of the main ones I would like to see on the calendar personally. I'd also love to see a race in Africa somewhere like Kalami. I like that track. I think 23. I think 23 races will be the target for 2021, and I think they will do it. The primary focus has to be the fans, though, because circuits like Turkey, Malaysia, though brilliant, they destroyed local economies, and the business side of me, that's not how Formula One should work. So it'll be difficult to source 25 circuits. It'll be difficult to sort them in the short term that they've got for 2021, but I just think Liberty really want this calendar now. And I think the quote is they want 5 races in America. I mean, it's a big country, don't get me wrong, but bit greedy, boys. Bit greedy. But no, I really like your question, and I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. I know lots of you are from countries like Finland. I mean, how Finland doesn't have a Grand Prix, I don't know. That's a must as well. So lots of tracks I'd love to see. A couple I'd love to see go as well, to be totally honest, but I think there will be quite a few changes for the calendar in 21. 4 or 5. I'm predicting either going or coming in, so should be fun. And moving on to our final question, our audience participation question. And I think it's more than fair to say a very long audience participation question, but a fun one. So I'm definitely going to be jumping into the comment section as soon as this video ends, so I will be responding to some of my favourites. Comes from, blimey, I picked some awkward names to read out. Max Duif? I've messed that up so bad. How do you think the 2021 grid will form? Can you give us some sort of prediction? So, 2021 driver lineups. I'm always brave at the beginning of a season, and after the first race, so after Melbourne, I do my lineup predictions for the next year. So actually, it's not too far off me doing my official 2021 driver lineup predictions. But for now, this is a bit of fun. So we'll start with Max Verstappen. I think he's gone from Red Bull. I don't see him staying past 21 if Honda's not particularly improving at the rate I think it will. I can see him going to Mercedes. I think Ferrari, they will keep Charles Leclerc. I think Sebastian Vettel will move on. I think Sebastian Vettel will slot into the vacant seat at Red Bull, and he will partner Alex Albon. Albon will still be there. That's what I'm going to say. And at Ferrari, it's going to be Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton is what we will go with for today's video. That's a brave one. That's a brave call. Who else have we got on the grid? So Mercedes will be Verstappen and George Russell. That's how that's going to go. The midfield, well, where will Renault be? Renault's probably one I should talk about. I think I'd love to see Ricciardo in Ferrari, though. Oh, this is difficult. Right, we're going to rechanging it. Red Bull is going to be Vettel and Albon. Ferrari is going to be Leclerc, Ricciardo. Mercedes is going to be Hamilton and Verstappen. Renault is going to be Ocon and Guanyu Zhou. McLaren, they're going to be the same. No surprise. Williams, I suppose they're going to... That'll be George Russell and some random. Haas F1, Romain Grosjean. No, Haas... Look, I don't want to spend ages on this because I want to see yours in the comments below. I think Hülkenberg will come back. I can see him driving at Haas. I think Raikkonen will probably have retired by then, and I can see it being Giovinazzi and Schumacher, or maybe Schwartzman and Schumacher. At Alfa Romeo, that would be really cool. But put it this way, there's a lot of teams, and there's a lot of combinations. So, the more interesting, the better. If anyone puts Grosjean and Maldonado in a team, you'll get a heart from me. If I see it, I will try my best to spot it. But I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. They're always a bit of fun, these audience participation questions. So if you have any questions for next week, feel free to put them in the comment section below. Also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I have to reiterate these things sometimes. You can follow me on Instagram and send me them or your questions over on Instagram. Quite a few of you are doing that these days, and it's really nice to see, actually. So keep doing that, boys. Keep up the good work. Any more announcements from me? I don't think so. Yeah, makes a change. Content for the Mexican Grand Prix weekend should be relatively normal. I think the preview will perhaps go out a little bit later, but apart from that, we're all good. I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.